The US Air Force Lunex program required a launch abort system. Hi, Gin and Tonics here. This is my second video in my Lunex series. In this first test, I'm doing a pad abort, and this is prior to the craft leaving the launch pad. To control the craft, I set the smart augmented stability system and press the abort action key to initiate the abort. And you'll notice that I'm using the engine here to provide some power to allow a landing of the craft on the runway. There I stage away the launch abort system and it falls and explodes on the ground. I also tested this in case the engine doesn't fire, and the craft does actually successfully glide down and can land on the grass just near the launch pad there. But for this test, I'm using the engine to realign with the runway and return. As you can see, I'm returning to the airfield, gear down, engine off. I'm actually going a little bit too fast at the moment. I need to be landing at about 40 meters per second, so I just wash off a little bit of speed there. And I'm down under 40 meters per second, so perfect landing. And there's my rocket in the background there. So in the second test now, this is for testing the abort after launch. And the question here, does the abort system have enough thrust to draw the lander craft away from the speeding rocket? So what I'm doing here is I'm just launching and speeding up to get to the point of maximum dynamic pressure. And as you can see, it works, and the craft pulls away from the speeding rocket. Now here at over 10 kilometers altitude, there's very little dynamic control, so I'm using the RCS thrusters to orient the craft as best I can. It's very, very hard to keep it under control. I forgot to set roll control on the smartass. So there we go, now I'm under control. I eject away the launch abort system engines. I have to do that because otherwise the craft gets very nose heavy and is very difficult to control. But in this lighter mode, what I find, even at a height of 6 kilometers, I don't have enough aerodynamic pressure to control the craft in a horizontal turn, so I just do a vertical turn, and that works out fairly efficiently as long as I get myself lined up on the end of that airfield, which I'm doing here now. And it's a little difficult to be sure that I am lining up. I'm not too far from the airfield. I can always turn my engine on here and give myself a bit of a boost towards the airfield. But no, I'm pretty confident that I'm there. I probably should have pulled out to a pitch of about -10, which is the perfect glide angle. So I'll just nose up a little bit here to try and give myself a bit more distance. Oh, you can see below there the launch abort system splashes into the ocean. Oh, I could have put parachutes on that, I suppose, and recovered it, but I've got a feeling that the US Air Force don't particularly like parachutes on craft. They would like to have an aircraft that flies, I think. And this is what I've done here with this craft. Alright, well, I'm lining up. I'm a little bit too far to the right, so I have to line up to the left a little bit. Don't think I need the engine. No, I'm just going to make it. So nose up, gear down, and there we have a perfect landing on the end of the airfield. Brakes on, so I slow down, and the mission complete.